Everybody, thank you for joining me. This is Jasmine with Ethereal Pathways. I'm going to do a very quick collective message to see what comes through. Just a quick message this morning, just for your highest and greatest good. What do you need to know? Signs of confirmation on your journey. Oops, oh my goodness. And yeah, hold on just a second. Just knocking something up. And I've already cleansed this area, and I've asked, said some prayers that only the highest and the highest messages come through with no interference from the divine for the collective at this time. What you need to know to encourage you, inspire you on your path of ascension and personal development, things like that, spiritually and however else. Spirit, I'm just calling you in to please speak through me as a mouthpiece, whatever the collective needs to know for their highest and greatest good at this time. I'm just feeling guided to say additional prayers. So I'm going to go a little bit different today since this is a quicker message, and I'm going to pull some of these cards that I created. Spirit, what does the collective need to know at this time for their highest and greatest good? What messages do you have for the collective? More shadow work is needed. Journal, introspect, and or counseling, however you're guided to. Use your intuition. And I always say this, if you're new to my messages, use your intuition and only take what resonates for you. That you feel are guided, the messages for you, and leave what doesn't for somebody else, because there are messages going to be probably messages for other people in here that are not for you. So only take what resonates for you and leave what doesn't for other people. And anytime you're watching this message after I post it, doesn't matter how long ago I post this, if you were guided to this video, then there's probably a message in here for you. So I don't believe in coincidences. But yeah, but some of you are being guided to focus on doing more shadow work. Look at those triggers when you're being triggered by people. And what just came to me with that is pointing the finger at other people, blaming other people for things that have happened, or solution of relationships, whether it be a friendship, a business partnership, a relationship of some sort, loss of a job, whatever it is. Look at yourself. And I know this is probably not going to be, one of those, messages that I like to give, but I have to be a truth speaker, and whatever comes to me, I have to share, because that's what I'm called to do by the divine, by God. So maybe look at yourself, see where there's areas you can improve in. And if you're having trouble finding out what your triggers are or what's causing them, go get some professional help with that. Some counselors that, maybe specialize in that. You can also call on the divine. And build that relationship. That's been coming out a lot. Build that relationship with God, with the Holy Spirit, with the divine, to listen, not just talk to and tell them your issues and ask for help, but also have that ear to listen. Because some of you, and I'm feeling masculine energy very heavy again, in this. This came out twice already. Empress. So some of you, again, this came out yesterday, are in your Empress receiving mode. Again, this is not, gender specific. That's just an energy. So you may have been sowing seeds into a business, into your professional development, into training for skills, and working on yourself professionally and personally development. Trying to better yourself and ascend, and you've been sowing seeds, put in those actions, and now you're going to be in receiving mode. You're in your receiving mode, gonna start seeing abundance coming in, is what I'm getting with that. So you're gonna start seeing fruits of your labor coming in. The strawberry moon was 2 nights ago, and it had a lot to do with harvest, strawberry harvest this time of year, and harvesting the abundance, the fruits of your labor from the seeds that you have been sowing, and you've been tilling the ground, doing that hard labor, taking those actions, doing the hard shadow work on digging up these wounds and trying to, heal and release these triggers and unforgiveness. I'm getting too. There's unforgiveness here that a lot of you are being guided to look at, where you're pointing the finger at somebody else, that somebody else has been the issue, but it takes two to tango, I'm hearing. And so that is maybe a call for you, to look at yourself and how your actions were aiding in whatever happened and whatever it is that dissolved or has been an issue. Look at yourself and ask God to show you, the divine to show you where you may be having some triggers or having some negative mind thought patterns. I'm getting to of lack mentality, or I'm hearing pride and ego. There's pride and ego also coming out. And I'm seeing like the devil card. There's control issues and pride and evil coming out. So when I say the devil card, if you're not familiar with tarot, that's that energy, that manipulation, that control, domination, lust, greed, that kind of stuff. So there's temptations there that you're maybe being guided to look at within yourself. So again, take it as it resonates. But I'm here to help the collective. That's why I do these messages. Oh, you can see my little dog, Ariel. Hey, Ariel. She's walking out there, probably get some water. Make plans and strategize came out. So some of you are being called to strategize and, work towards those goals. And some of you, it's life purpose, but some of you, it's just business in general, or, you're growing a business, you're creating new projects, creating things to help grow. Whatever it is, you're sowing those seeds. Take it as it resonates. And you're being called to, plan and strategize more on that front. Not to the nth degree of like completely like staying in your head. But you're being called to balance that with the spiritual. Balance your strategy and your plan going forward, what's going to make you grow. And that just flew right out. I feel like giving up. Some of you are feeling like giving up on your life purpose, on you working on yourself, on whatever it is, relationships, and you're feeling bad about yourself, and you're feeling like just giving up altogether. Do not give up. I'm telling you, this is a message from God and the divine telling you not to give up. If this is the only thing you needed to hear in this message, then I'm telling you that. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your dreams, because God put those dreams in you. Your soul had those dreams for a reason, because you probably had a contract or a life plan to do things for the collective, for humanity as a whole, to assist them in some way, whether it be small or large. Some of you have grand ideas, grand dreams, and you're being called not to give up on those. Don't give up on yourself. You are worth it. And whatever it is that God put on your heart, that your soul is calling you to do, it's for a higher purpose. It's for a reason. You have a soul calling. I feel like a lot of you are just asking yourselves, what am I here to do? What am I here to create? What am I here to do I feel like I need to help people. You're going to be told, use your intuition, go to the divine in prayer and meditation. Keep asking, and those signs you'll start getting signs and you'll start getting messages, but also listen. Begin to learn to listen to the divine, because it's a two-way street, just like any other relationship. We're all too often taught, to pray, ask God. But do we ever sit and listen enough and listen for that answer? And sometimes it may not be a bold answer and clear in your head. Sometimes it's signs and small, subtle answers. But you got to be asking the divine, open up your spiritual eyes to look for those signs and see that. And part of getting to that point is doing that shadow work. Because when you do that shadow work, you introspect, looked at yourself, you see, and you try to improve. You start improving on those triggers. You start letting go and forgiving people, and you're healing. You will naturally ascend, and your blockages will begin to disappear. Your connection with the divine will begin to come back, but you got to do the work to do that. You got to get to that point. You got to let go of the things that are no longer resonating with you, that are holding you back from your highest potential, because that's what the divine wants. He wants you to move into your life purpose. He wants you to, do your soul's calling, whatever, has been laid on your heart to do. What else, Spirit? What else do you have for the collective at this time? Thank you for these messages, because this is going to help so many people, and that's what I want for this to help people. Trust in your intuition. That's what I've been saying here. You're being guided to trust in your intuition, especially with making these plans and strategizing, growing your business or whatever it is, your personal development. Maybe you're creating things like art or whatever it is. Use your intuition when you're doing that, because that's part of where we're going in the new earth. The new heavens and the new earth is learning to walk by faith and not by sight. Walk in the power of the Holy Spirit and be guided by the Holy Spirit, just like Jesus was through those towns. That's how, I just got goosebumps, signs of confirmation. Ooh. Separation, a space and time apart, needed for healing and introspection. So this goes right along with what came out the first card. The shadow work is needed. That's what you do in separation from people, whether it's a friend, whether it's a job, whether it's a significant other. You know, when you're in separation, that is a time to look at your own actions and see where, you know, what may have transpired on their end, but mostly on your end, and to try to heal that. Try to see what actions you did that may have caused that. And all too often we think there's nothing wrong with us. I've done all the work. Let me tell you, we're always a work in progress. Always. Always healing throughout our life. You know, yes, we can do significant healing on our triggers and reprogram, but sometimes there's still going to be additional healing there. You know, that most of us are going to be healing. Well, we're all going to be healing in a way throughout our lives. You know, you never really stop that. So you don't ever think you're too good and in pride, you know, that you're too good for more healing, because there's always areas that we can grow and learn to, you know, be a better person and learn how to love ourselves more unconditionally and love others unconditionally and forgive and let things go. And that's what I think a lot of you are being called to do that's getting this message. The devil, that's what I was picking up on a few minutes ago. That devil energy, you're being asked to let go of this devil energy, okay? Whatever it is, it could be a person, place, thing, mind, thought, you know, patterns, pride and ego. That's what came out a little bit ago. Pride and ego. You're being asked to look at the pride and ego and let it go. Forgive. Let things go and move forward with your life, because where a door is closed, another one will open. Trust and faith and move forward as you're guided by your intuition and by the divine. The divine will show you through your intuition. He will show you. Build that communication with the divine and with yourself and your higher self. And that's what's going to help guide you forward on the strategies and forgiving people and doing this shadow work. Carnelian. Some of you are guided to work with this stone, carnelian. It says it's the artist stone. So, you know, I did say art. So some of you are artists. It's good for motivation, boldness, courage, vitality, taking action. That's what I'm seeing, the strategy and the taking action. For willpower and self-esteem. Also good for, it's tied to the sacral and solar plexus. So, you know, that creation energy of the Empress, that's what that is. You know, you've been sowing seeds and you're being asked to, you know, maybe work with some of these stones to assist you with the self-confidence that you need. Sacral energy is so important. It's not just for sensualness. It's the creation center, energy center of your body, of your soul body matrix, where it ties in. So, you know, use that creation energy, you know, to create whatever you're doing. That's what that'll assist with that. If you're feeling like artist block or writer's block or something, that's a good stone to get. A friend of mine, I told her something about she needs to wear more orange sacral energy because she was trying to paint and had a painter's block and wasn't feeling inspired for some reason. And I said, you need to probably wear orange, that sacral energy that'll help that creation energy start flowing. And you know what? She ended up just going into a local crystal shop just to look around, and she was immediately pulled to a carnelian stone. That's the artist stone. She didn't even know what that stone was until she asked about it, and they told her that, and she was just floored because of what I told her a few days before that. So she took the message I gave her, you know, that God spoke through me, and she ran with it. She got it, and she worked past that block. So I'm telling you that, you know, you may be guided to get the carnelian stone again. Take it as it resonates. Sacral chakra, again, that's that carnelian. You know, you're asked to create here, okay? I'm going to get this right here so you guys can see it. You're asked to create, all right? And clear sacral chakra blockages. That's creativity, emotional flow as well. So that will help any emotional blockages, like you feeling like you can't connect with your emotions. That's another good area to work on clearing, as well as the heart chakra and throat chakra, for speaking your truth of your emotions and getting to the truth. Water element. So some of you may be like maybe it's a water sign, Pisces, Scorpio. What is it? Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Maybe tied to that. Maybe that's in your chart. Again, take it as it resonates, because you may not be that. And again, orange is that sensuality, pleasure, emotional flow, creativity, water element, and orange. So, yeah, you are being watched and observed. Some of you, again, take it as it resonates. Some of you are being watched and observed by somebody. Could be for a business opportunity. That they're probably in the shadows watching. It could be for come forward for a relationship to speak truth. Take it as it resonates. What else, Spirit? I'm probably going to pull a couple more cards, and I might pull a couple oracles. What else, Spirit, does the collective need to know at this time? Archangel Jophiel, beauty and wisdom, art and creativity. Thank you, Spirit, for signs of confirmation and divine truth. What did I just say about the throat chakra, speaking your truth? So some of you are being guided to speak your truth, but also this is in regards to creating art or beauty, whatever your creations are. And again, it doesn't have to be potentially art. It can be, but it's creation energy in general. You're creating something for yourself, whether that's building a system or whatever. I don't know. But, again, take it as it resonates. One more, Spirit, please, and thank you. Okay, that's too many. Let me shuffle those back in. One more, Spirit. What else, Spirit, do you have for the collective at this time that they need to know for their highest and greatest good? Third eye chakra. So some of you are being called to clear the third eye chakra at this time. Intuition, imagination, inner wisdom. The color is indigo, so maybe wear indigo. Element is light. So you're being called to strengthen and clear that connection with your higher self, and with getting messages from the divine and your guides, so you can have clear path to strategize and move forward and in your creations. So go meditation and prayer will assist that. Also specific stones. I have some stones in this deck that can help with that. Anything else, Spirit? Okay, I'm being guided to wrap it up. Let's see what these animal spirit oracles have. Spirit, what messages do you have out of this deck for the collective at this time? Authentic. Sorry. Some of you are being guided to be authentic and speak your truth. That's that throat chakra energy. Okay. There's also, I'm getting passion with the sacral energy and the devil energy. So some of you are working on, and this came out in a recent message, some of you are working on tempering your passion for somebody to come speak the truth, or somebody is being, tempering their passion for somebody else to come speak their truth, tempering their emotions, grounding and connecting with, the divine to try to get, that inspiration and get that, the self-confidence to come speak their truth to somebody. That's what I'm getting. So again, you're intuitive, you need to be authentic and follow your intuition. And penguins, I don't know if people like penguins, but it says, reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength when you face the storm. Again, use your tuition who you reach out to, okay? Love your uniqueness. You are full of surprises. Break free from others' expectations. Just be yourself. Be your true self. Don't try to hide yourself from other people. And I think I got one more, Spirit. One more from this deck. What do they need to know for their highest and greatest good? Oh, that fell out. Giraffe. So, oops. Look at this. There's a giraffe. I'll show you the card. It's pretty. Oh, look at that. Solar plexus. And it's orange and yellow. So that's sacral and solar plexus. Didn't that both come out? The sacral and solar plexus? Yeah. Carnelian works with sacral and the solar plexus. So that's good. That's wonderful science confirmation, Spirit. Rise above earthly matters. Glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path. Stand tall in your self-worth and love with a big heart. Self-worth again. Ooh, I just got signs of confirmation. Goosebumps. All right, thank you, Spirit. I hope this helped you in some way. I know this is a quicker message, but please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know. I'd love to hear if this assisted you in some way or gave you some signs of confirmation of how to move forward, or, confirmation in general. I love to hear those stories. So, and if you hit the share button and copy link, it still assists me. You don't have to share it. It still assists the algorithm, and that'll help show these messages to more people. I am trying to grow my channel, so thank you for any and all help that you can provide at this time if you feel guided to. And I just want to wish you all a very blessed, wonderful day or evening whenever you're watching this.